Hello and welcome to this week's Monday Moments. I'm Jamie Ulmer and
I'm Tyler Rinney.
Yay! We remembered our names. That was the first thing that we needed to try to remember today.
The cheat sheet.
Oh, well, yeah. But anyway, so this special edition of Monday Moments is we are going to be talking about the shows in the 2021-2022 season that is coming up here at Community Players. That we're calling it a reboot season. You know, because sometimes when life or your computer just goes bad, it just is best to just unplug it and reboot the crazy thing. So that's kind of what we're thinking about next season as at the theater. As we are talking about the shows in the new season, if you do have any questions about anything, please feel free to put it in the comments there, and if we see it while we are still live, we will answer it live. Otherwise, we'll try and answer it afterwards. We will also be putting a link to our website in the comment section so that you can get more information about all these shows that we're going to talk about with dates and also finding out how you can order season tickets. So let's get started with the first show that is going to be part of the new season, and that's going to be a Stage Door production. Tyler?
That's right. We are kicking off with our Stars of Summer program, and we will be bringing Frozen Jr. to the stage. Disney's Frozen Jr. That is the modern classic tale of Anna and Elsa in all its musical Frozen glory on the stage.
And earworms galore.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is a show that we were hoping to do last summer, but we have rescheduled it to this summer, and registrations for that are...
Yep, they're available right now on our website or in the box office, and we're also hiring positions for that as well, including a music director, 2 stage managers, and a choreographer.
And those are paid positions.
They are.
Coming up next in September will be our regular season opener, a much anticipated and long delayed production, Mamma Mia, featuring the music of ABBA. We had hoped to be doing that show 2 years ago, or a year ago this coming June is when it was supposed to originally perform here, but we are going to open next regular season with that show in September. It will run for 3 weeks in September, and we know that people are going to be very excited about that. I don't think I need to tell you what Mamma Mia is about. It's ABBA. So there you go. Coming up next, regular season-wise, in October, is a 2-person play called Popcorn Falls. And that is a really hilarious comedy about 2 guys that are trying to save their small town from becoming the waste processing center for the neighboring rival town. And how are they going to save the town? By putting on a play, of course. So, you know, real life.
Yeah, exactly.
Then
we have another Stage Door show coming up after that with our first acting up show of the season, Forest Paths, which is a delightfully creepy collection of short stories, which is a world premiere. Another show that I have written or am currently writing that will be on the stage there. I know the kids always look forward to acting in those shows, and I always look forward to putting those on stage. And yeah, it's going to be a collection of a bunch of short stories about a billy goat reclaiming his bridge from a troll, about a young girl following a map through the woods that might be lying to her, and all kinds of other different delightfully creepy stories in that one.
Delightfully creepy stories. That will be the name of my autobiography.
Exactly.
Coming up in December, we have the musical Elf. Based on the popular Will Ferrell movie, and it is going to be a fun adventure for the entire family. That show is going to run for 2 weekends in December, but it will also have Saturday matinees and a Thursday performance, so it'll actually do 9 performances over 2 weeks, because we think a lot of people are going to want to have their spaghetti and everything.
And syrup. We should mention that is a musical, too.
Elf the Musical. Elf the Musical.
That's right.
Yes. So be sure to be on the lookout for that in December. Why don't you tell us about the next regular season show, Tyler?
Yeah, coming up in February, we have Clue on Stage, which is based on the hit board game and the hit movie, which is all about a group of people that find themselves in Body Manor, and bodies start to pile up, and they have to figure out who done it in that manner. So it's a really fun adaptation of that classic board game and comedy film.
Yeah. Then coming up in March and April, we are going to be doing an adaptation of The Three Musketeers, full of swordplay and based on, of course, the classic book. And this adaptation is has some comedy in it as well, because it is written by Ken Ludwig, who is known for a lot of his comedies, including Lend Me a Tenor. Then, that's you again.
Coming up in April and May is our second Acting Up show, another adaptation. The second half is heavy with those, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
But of Charlotte's Web, the classic children's story by E.B. White. That is a straight-ahead adaptation of that classic story, all about Wilbur, who is scheduled to be set off to the butcher, but a literate spider takes heart and decides to save him by proving to the farmyard that he is some pig. And that is coming up in April and May.
And then finally, next season, the reboot season, will feature the musical, a new musical called Desperate Measures, which is a really fun Old West style musical comedy with a cast of 6, full of great tunes, and it's a lot of fun. And we are one of the first theaters in the country to have gotten permission to perform that show. We're supposed to be in rehearsals for that show right now, actually, because it was supposed to close out this season. It's not, obviously, but it's going to close out next season. So like we said, this season is kind of a reboot. There are a lot of shows. In fact, most of the shows on this list, regular season-wise, were shows that we had intended to produce this season, but due to a little tiny thing that I'm sure no one has had any personal impact with around here, but due to a little pandemic, we've had to change the schedule up a little bit. But we are excited to finally bring back those shows that we had planned to do this current season. We're doing a lot of those next season. And it is a chance for the community to rebuild relationships, to reconnect with each other, and to really, rediscover the joy of attending events in the same room without being on a screen. Tyler, anything else you want to say about the season coming up?
I'm just really excited to finally perform these shows. We've had a lot of time to think about them here at the theater, and I know that a lot of people have had time to get excited about them as well. So we are excited to get back on stage and to get our audiences back in the audience where they belong.
Yeah. And speaking of getting people back in here, we do want to also mention that we do have one more regular season show coming up, opening next week, and that is Love, Linda, which will feature Gene Spilker as the amazing Gene Spilker as Linda Lee Porter, who was the wife of songwriter Cole Porter, and the show is a collection of stories and songs based on their relationship. And we're on the set of that show right now, actually, which is why we actually have some lights on and stuff. Let's see. I think that is everything. Oh, we do also want to mention that we will be hiring several guest positions for the coming season, so be watching our website for that information. Hiring guest directors, hiring choreographers, hiring music directors for the various productions. And costumers and things like that for the various productions coming up next season. So be watching our website in the job posting section for when those are going to be available and when we will start accepting applications for those. But remember, we are still taking applications for the production team of Frozen right now.
That's exactly right.
All right. Is there anything else, Tyler, that we need to talk about? There aren't really any questions on the chat here. So.
No, I'm just excited to finally do some of these fun shows.
Yeah, I am too, but mostly we are excited to be able to welcome as many people as we can back into the auditorium to gather safely together, once again to enjoy live theater as a community. So with that, unless I see a question coming in on the chat, some comments, but that's about it. So that is going to wrap it up for this week's Monday Moment, and we will see you next week.